Yeah. So you already know I don't like that CGI dog.
Well, I don't think anybody likes the CGI dog.
It was terrible CGI even for the early 2000s. It was bad. It just looked terrible.
I could name better films that had better CGI in the early 2000s. Like The Ring already. It was already better.
Yeah. It's just like, and there was no need for it. Like you could have just used a dog and, or like for what that dog did, you don't need...
Well, he chewed on the girlfriend's head a little bit. And then when he dropped her 3 floors down, her face was still there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so basically nothing happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so the dog wasn't scary. The fire that made no sense at the end of the film looked really bad.
Right.
And there was that one scene so out of place where it's none of the characters seeing this. It's just the viewer where we see the wallpaper.
Okay.
And
I remember that. I forgot
dog's
about
head
that.
on the wallpaper kind of morphs into this weird the devil dog that we saw.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
It just looks at you and it's like, man, this is like everyone in the theater laughed. Nobody was.
I forgave it because I was thinking, like, you know what? Okay, well, we're only 1/4 into the film. Where's this gonna go? Then you look back on it now. That is a horrible choice. A horrible show.
We, the audience, are the only people who see it. So what's that supposed to be? Like that? That's furthering that we are like these characters, that we shouldn't believe what we see.
Oh man, I guess so. Well, I think that's the best explanation for sure.
Like if you dig deep, that's the best explanation.
It is.
But
well,
otherwise, it's just this is.
You don't have to dig any deeper because or else it's just pointless.
Like it's 2017. This is not this wasn't a display of what you can do.
I mean, like this is
There were other things too. Things that I would have done if I were Elliot. A little bit different. Nothing that would have saved my life, but maybe given me a little more peace of mind. The first time I have a nightmare or a vision of this Bye-Bye Man in my room, and I turn the lights on and realize it's just a coat that I've hung provocatively.
I forgot about that stupid cloak.
Yeah.
Just take that stupid cloak down.
Take that.
Why was it up in the first place?
Maybe he wears it. I don't know.
He wears it or at least address it. It's like, oh, look, I found this cloak. Isn't it funny? You know what I mean? Like, be self-aware about it. Don't just put it up there.
I mean, you can put it up fine, but the moment you see it and it frightens you, it's going to do it again. Just take it down.
It kind of reminded me, did you watch The Conjuring 2? Remember
Yeah.
Okay, remember when, Jesus, I forgot the character's name, but anyway, Patrick Wilson's character paints this painting and hangs it up on his wall, like for a scare aesthetic. Like the film is great, by the way, obviously The Conjuring 2, but just that it was kind of a weak aesthetic. I think if it's kind of a cheap scare for him to put it up there, because if it's something that he was dreaming about and it looks really, really unsettling, why would you frame it and put it up?
Well, he's I'm okay with that. Because that's kind of what he does for a living. Is he?
Yeah, but you don't put that up. You
put that up so you can figure out what it is. He's been painting this thing. He doesn't understand it. He wants to, so he's like, I'm going to keep looking at it. I'm going to keep just. He's fixated on. He's a little bit infected with the idea of it.
I know. I kept looking at that as just something like, because the fact is that maybe if we did have at least one shot of Patrick Wilson just looking at the painting and that he's trying to figure it out, as opposed to just having the first time you see that painting up was for the scare.
Yeah.
That's the thing I have something against. But anyways, we're not talking about The Conjuring right now. We're talking about this crappy movie.
Yeah. So like I said, rules very clear. Don't think it. Don't say it.
It's rules
for good measure. Don't write it down either.
Yeah,
that's probably not going to help. But they can't learn this lesson. They just keep saying it. They keep writing it down. They keep, character we haven't talked about yet.
Oh,
probably the most frustrating character in this whole
librarian
film. And they were all frustrating, but yes, the librarian, Mrs. Watkins. Like, just I don't even know what to say about her. I don't know what to say about her. So it's like they're Mrs. Watkins and Elliot are reaching this level of understanding about what the Bye-Bye Man is.
Yeah, but isn't she doomed already?
There. No, yeah, well, now she's doomed because
right.
he was like, well, what's his name? He's like, we're not supposed to say it. And I was like, the Bye-Bye Man.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I could see it coming. But they're reaching this level of understanding to what the Bye-Bye Man is, seeing all the effort that went into hiding the name. And then she just like, well, it means he's crazy. And that's it. And then Elliot doesn't even think about her.
No,
Elliot just lets her go home, and she ends up killing her husband, killing someone else in the room.
I feel like she was doomed from the start anyway. I feel like she's more of a victim than the rest of them.
Well, yeah.
Because
Why?
she just basically helped him out, looked for an archive, and she read out his name. Oh, okay, this Bye Bye Man, and this boy's talking about it, and now it's in my head. I feel like that's more of a realistic depiction of what we've been seeing so far of what happens to Watkins. And my favorite part is when Watkins somehow has their number, calls them, and it just says Watkin on the caller ID, no phone number, nothing. The exact same telephone I have at home.
Yes, it's like, so he has her programmed into his phone.
Exactly. It's like Watkins. You couldn't just answer the phone, Miss Watkins. That would have worked.
And I didn't even know her name was Watkins until he answered it and then said, "It's Miss Watkins. She's a librarian." That scene where he's sitting in the library and you see the Bye Bye Man sitting like
closer?
4 desks over, and every time he looks up, he's closer and closer and closer. That I don't know. It was so ridiculous to me.
And that took half an hour apparently, because remember, it's like it was 1:40. Oh, I got time. My battery's low.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. I'll bring up the cell phone again, but yeah, battery's low, and then he looks back. Oh my god, that took half an hour. Those 4 scares took half an hour apparently.
Yeah. It's like I'm crossing out Bye Bye Man inefficiently to boot, and it's like I'm gonna look up again, see if he's any closer. He is. I'm gonna keep scratching that out.
He's getting stronger as he's getting closer, but I'm gonna keep scratching it. That's the best solution.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is this cell phone. Okay, he's supposed to. So afterwards, it's revealed that the cell phone is no longer has any batteries. He doesn't go home yet. Where does he go afterwards? He's supposed to meet his girlfriend, and they end up going somewhere else. He was supposed to go somewhere else. Where did he go afterwards?
He went to the girl, what's her name's house, Kim's house, to get her to come back and do it.
That's right. Yeah. So then he basically, so he goes there. Then the train thing happens. He goes to the interrogation room, and his girlfriend goes home with John.
Yeah.
He never went home at this point, and then he goes home, and somehow did he charge his phone? Or was the phone not dead to begin with?
What, was his phone dead again?
Yeah. It was. He ended up calling and leaving her a message. But the fact is that they killed our credibility and said not everything appears to what it seems. So this phone may have never been a dead battery, or if he called her, he never really called her, and this is it.
The Bye Bye Man doesn't have the power to drain your phone of its life, but he can make you think it's dead.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't.
It's a stupid use of the phone. That's all I'm saying.
It's a stupid use of his power. I'm thinking maybe when he was. When did he call her?
He called her on the way back from Larry's wife. Remember, he could realize, I don't have to be afraid.
Okay, so maybe when he was at the police station, they charged it for him.
Maybe.
It was like, well, you're going to be in here. He's like, can you charge my phone?
I know they don't want to show that part. I get it, but it's just the fact is like, last time we saw his phone, it was dead, and now he's using it. So
and he hasn't been home. But I will.
Okay, we can let that slide, but still, it's the fact is that the last thing you saw is that his phone being dead.
All right. I get it. I'm not happy about it.
Okay.
If I was that widow that he went to speak with, I would not. The second he starts even talking about this situation where the Bye Bye Man,
I would have shot him.
Well, I would have cut my ears off. I think it's like she's just like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. It's like, no, just like get him out of your house. Block your ears. All you have to do is hear the Bye Bye Man, and you're done.
Yeah, but she lived. So what's the problem?
No, she never heard it.
Exactly, she lived. She never heard it. She lived.
Well,
so
yes, she never heard it.
I'm just
for
saying
30 years. And now this kid is coming up, and he's all up and excited about the Bye Bye Man.
Right.
He knows the names. Like, I don't want to know you if you might accidentally say the words, the Bye Bye Man, because then I'm going to be infected.
Exactly.
And I like, the only thing I like, there's a few things I like, but the idea of this infection being audible, like
yeah, okay.
It was, I don't know if you ever saw Pontypool. Some
no, I haven't.
It's like a horror movie about.
What year? Or approximately?
Pretty within the last 15 years.
Okay.
It's like a UK film. It's people in a radio station, and there's a disease that's spread through speaking. And it's a certain way of talking that kind of spreads this disease to somebody else. No one really knows what words you have to say, but once you're infected. It's very strange.
But they pulled it off?
Remember. Oh, they pulled it off. It was pretty great.
Okay, so there you go.
And it all took place, I think, in just a small radio station.
Really?
So...
That's cool.
So I like that.
You like
this,
that?
I enjoyed in theory, but
yeah,
I also didn't. It's like the Bye Bye Man is such a. For sure, someone has said that before. Now, do you have to be? We're getting into the logistics of how this curse works. I'll call it a curse, a disease. I don't know, but the Bye-Bye Man, if we don't know what we're saying and we're living in this world where the Bye-Bye Man can come and rape your mind,
whoa.
What if you say, what if you're leaving my place and I'm like, bye-bye, man.
Bye-bye, man. And he comes in.
Is that going to get me infected? Just because okay, and another thing, when you're trying not to say the Bye-Bye Man or think the Bye-Bye Man, does writing down, don't say it, don't think it, help you get your mind off of it? Because it really seems like it helps you keep your mind on it by writing don't say it, don't think it. And don't be in your car singing bye-bye happiness.
I forgot.
Hello loneliness, I think I'm going to die. Like, these are the worst songs. Don't sing bye-bye Miss American Pie. Don't sing
anything relevant to what you're not supposed to say, and he totally throw it in there.
He just fell right into it.
But maybe he wasn't actually listening to the radio. Maybe it was actually another song, and he was singing that song. We don't know because
he looked like he was going crazy.
Yeah, but they're killing the credibility of this film. We don't even know if all this even really happened. You don't even know if this film actually happened before the train hits.
That's true.
We don't even know. We don't know.
Yeah. So what did you think? We talked a lot about Elliot. What did you think of his roommates, John and Sasha?
Very unapologetic characters, I gotta say. No, not unapologetic. That's not the right way to put it.
Undeveloped?
Undeveloped would be a good one. Because John, like, outside of his experience, he brings Kim home, and he has that. There's that encounter when he's in class when he sees the Bye-Bye Man on his cell phone, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's all there is to him. So just like, okay, that's enough on John. He's affected by it. I would have liked to have seen the psychic Kim have more of a role, but I guess they wanted to avoid the whole trope of having a psychic in a horror movie, you know, knowing
they failed that.
They failed that miserably. They did. But like, I guess that trope would have worked very well. But I feel like she should have had a role in it because I feel like besides the nightstand, she was the second catalyst to the cause of all that.
Yeah. So wait, who is the cause?
Kim, the psychic. She basically, because if she didn't say "don't think it, don't say it," and then he goes and say "bye," well, that's where the candle goes off, everything, just crap hits the fan.
Yeah, and everyone gets infected at the same time.
She should have just basically tried to be more. I feel like her character should have been more of a role in the film to prevent it, like be a part of, not just Elliot being an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, it would have come out eventually. Elliot would have mentioned it to somebody because he doesn't understand not to say it or think it.
Pretty much, yeah. And that's why she goes, oh, the funny thing is, like, when she first sees it, she's like, oh no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say it. She says, I don't want to say it. So like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. It's like, well, she knows the idea already. Why couldn't she help them out at that point? And that's what I found so dumb.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I didn't. First of all, John,
the jock.
Yeah, I would not trust him with my girlfriend.
He's really not helping himself at all.
From the beginning, when his brother is telling Elliot, "I'm glad it's a good thing you're not jealous." It's like, well, he should be, because this is inappropriate behavior.
Totally. And then the fact that, like, even like when he brings her home, he lays her on, he puts her on his bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why would you do that? He's already suspicious. But again, he's infected. Nobody's thinking straight. They're being predictable. And the thing is that, okay, well, yeah, there's that jealousy factor that was brought on, and I felt like, it was kind of like, how do I say it, elementary or even like childish, adolescent.
Yeah, but all jealousy is usually jealousy.
It is, but it just used in this context is too easy.
Yeah,
way too easy.
It was really easy, and I feel like it was too easy for the film, but it was the only part of me that felt. It felt real, like that felt natural.
Yeah, I see.
It's like like
that's
he's already a little.
Well, she said his name. I love you, John.
Right away,
and I'm like, come on, like, so this is already this is precedent to what should happen to them. And the worst part is he hits him in the head with the bat.
Yeah, shouldn't
you not be asleep when you get a concussion?
Yeah, but he's also not thinking straight. He just wants to kind of keep him alive. He ties him up too, I think.
Yeah, but like, I'm just saying is that, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if we enter the science of, like, hitting someone in the head with a bat, they should not be, and they're not knocked out, they should not be going to sleep because they get a concussion and they might not ever wake up.
Yeah, but it's like, what can he do about that? He can't call the
nothing.
police.
The fact is that he should have been dead as he bashed him in the head, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't have worked later on in the film when he thinks he's killing him, but it turns out he's killing his girlfriend.
The thing is, at this point, the film says what you see, you can't believe everything you see. So he could have thought he saw two people, but then he actually killed his girlfriend for some odd reason. Yeah. So they could have still pulled it off whether he was there or not.
Yeah. Now this whole thing. So let me talk about the deaths here. Kim's death. She runs out because she sees a family on the train tracks.
Yeah. She just killed a roommate, but I want to go help a